Streaming on all platforms. What you find love? Come catch this vibe. Welcome to the climax zone. 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 Come check this podcast out. It's unfiltered, it's unscripted. Come catch this vibe, man. And if you need some promo, come holler at us. Come holler at us. Come holler Hello, the Joneses.
Hello.
How are you guys doing, first and foremost?
I'm all right. How you doing?
Feeling good. How are you doing?
I'm not okay. I'm a little bothered.
Okay.
And the first time in my year and some months of my podcast, this one gonna get a little ugly, maybe. It is okay. As of today, I'm through giving disclaimers. 'Cause I just don't want to know. I'm not gonna say made because I have free will to look at what I want to look at, not look at what I don't want to look at. But I've been subjected to seeing things that I don't necessarily agree with. And again, that's okay because we're not gonna all agree. We're not gonna all be on the same wavelength. We can agree to disagree. So this is not a disclaimer, but this is something that I will say. Whoever tunes in today, if you don't like it, it's okay. Because you can't keep me from the cookout, because bitch, I am the cookout. So before I dig and just jump right in, let's get a summary. Let's get the wavelength going. Let's see how y'all feeling. Anything y'all want to talk about? Because my shit is 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I got a lot of shit over here written down that I want to make sure I don't forget.
I'm here for you.
What she said.
I would say, brother.
What she said.
I'm not going to pour out this on y'all in a hurry. But I am going to start by asking, because y'all know, y'all probably the only ones. They may say I'm being funny for this either, but I don't give a fuck. If you're on my platform, no, everybody's opinion matters. Everybody's opinion matters. Whether you're on the platform or not. I put the phone number down there too, because I got the phone right here. Anybody that want to call in tonight, it's going to be good. I ain't gonna hold y'all all night, but I hope y'all let me keep y'all until we get this done. What are y'all thoughts on the world right now? I'm gonna say the heavy shit for a minute. But what are y'all thoughts? Just looking at the world around you right now. What are your thoughts?
Shit. Better believe in something. This shit about to be over with, bro. Shit. Earth as a whole is up in the air.
Mr. Martin Clark Jr. What young couple? Okay, call the number because the show just started. I don't know what couple you're talking about. All right. Peace. Peace to you. Positive vibes. I'm trying to see, because like I said, the title is what it is. But okay. What do you feel about the case, the verdict?
I mean,
I feel like the verdict is good for future cases, because now since we have a guilty verdict on a police officer doing what he did, in future cases when police officers commit brutality or whatever it is they're committing murder, they can reference that case back and it holds weight because the verdict was guilty. So that's one of the reasons that I was excited about the guilty verdict. I understand that there's still have to do sentencing. I don't think that happened yet. So I'm really interested to see what he gets as far as time.
Okay.
How much time he gets and where.
Oh, yeah, and where.
That matters to me too. But yeah, it's great that he was convicted. But what next? What is next? Because we've seen convictions go left. There's appeals and all kind of shit.
Did you see his reaction when they read off his
He
conviction?
was pretty bedazzled. He
Guilty.
did not
I thought he was.
believe
I thought he
it.
was.
What you
With
mean
that.
guilty? Do you know who I am?
Yes.
I didn't see an expression.
It was in his eyes. I mean, we didn't have his whole face to look at, but to me, in his eyes, he was looking around and like he looked genuinely confused. Like, this is not where I thought it was gonna go.
Well, he looked back at the lawyer like, "You're fired."
I think the next thing I gotta make in my business is a hat that says conspiracy theories. I didn't see. I saw an act. I saw someone who came out after being briefed that yeah, we finna go shut these niggas up. So just go along with what the fuck we finna say. We got you. Okay, good. Okay. So yeah. And the way I say that is because if we would have released him on a non-guilty verdict, who would he have been released to? An angry black mob. And an angry black mob would have possibly killed him. And killing him by our angry black hands would have been a win for us and a real justice, in my opinion only. But and this is not all white people. That's another subject I'm going to get into. But for the ones that we know in higher power that are known to protect theirs, I think it sits very calculated that you were charged on all three verdicts, and we're going to lock you up because you got one choice. Either we're going to lock you up and protect you, or we're going to release you to the wolves. Those are the only two options. Somebody's going to kill you. Me personally, I don't feel like he's going to do time. And the reason I say I don't feel like he is going to do time, not based on the appeal, none of that. The people that bring us the news or propaganda are the people in power. So some of the community, some of our people in our community have a history of forgetting, attention span not being real strong. So to the point where who is calling me? Is this a caller? You better be a caller because I'm going to put you on speakerphone. I promise you. Hello?
Yes, I'm calling for the young woman, the topic. Excuse me, I'm kind of going off right now, doing several things at once.
What's your name?
My name is Martin Clark Jr.
Oh, okay.
Martin Luther Clark Jr., actually.
Oh, okay. What would you like to speak on?
Well, I'm listening to the conversation that you're having on Facebook.
Okay, but did you call with a topic or a question or a statement?
Well, the topic that you're discussing right now, I'm listening to you.
Oh.
Yeah, I guess what I'm seeing here from looking, I guess the way I look at it is that man is up period, no matter what country. And that looks as far as I can see, there's only one human. That's human.
Sir, I'm sorry. I don't know if your volume is up too high or what. You're kind of breaking out, so I can't really hear what you're saying.
Okay, hold on. Give me 1 second. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, great. Yeah, I'm not breaking up anymore?
No.
Good. Okay. Now, it is excellent. my point of view where the word really bad stuff been going on as long as man's been in existence. So I don't really see how another human being can fix another human being's problem. Those humans are things trying. So if
Okay.
human is not really guided by the I'm sure.
Okay, so sir, hold on. Let me stop you right there because I'm not saying that your opinion is not important. I'm gonna need you to put it in the comments because what you're talking, we haven't talked about what you're talking about right now. So it's kind of confusing me of where it's coming from. Not saying that what your opinion is not important, but if you could put it in the comments and then we can bring it up after we finish talking about what we're talking about. Okay. All right. Thank you. Okay. Iris, don't look at me like that because I'm really trying to be a me. I love you, but don't love you at the same time because I saw that look that you gave me. But no, what I was saying was our community has a habit. I'm gonna say some of them because along this podcast, I also want people to understand who I'm talking about. Again, my opinions are mine and mine only. You have the black man or the black people, then you have the niggas. You got the white people, then you got the crackers. What I'm saying is there is a group of people in our community that have a habit of forgetting things. When our attention span is messed with to the point where they can throw a rock and say, look over here, everybody look over there. Why they looking over here? Some fuck shit going on over here. So, yes, the news makes it look good. Yes, he was convicted. Yes, he's facing up to 75 some years. Yes. But at the same time, behind the scenes, he can easily have a whole bunch of his booked in pictures taken. They can easily use their computer generated geniuses that they have and easily say he was killed in jail and then he's forgotten about. But he can still get his paid pension, his paid vacation, and be relocated, protective custody, everything else. I just look at things on both sides. If they do commit to it, if it does happen, that is great. But I just don't want people to call it justice because George is not here no more. This man still has control of his eyelids. He can wake up and go to sleep whenever he wants to. Fuck where he at, jail or at home. The point is, I just didn't feel too good about people calling it justice. Any thoughts? Because I gotta take this day slow.
Justice would be found in the sentencing again. I don't think justice comes from just the trial. That's just you being convicted. That's just a group of 12 people agreed, yeah, you did murder somebody. We already knew that. So as far as the whole behind the scenes thing, I feel like, yeah, it's a possibility, but I just don't think he's that important.
I say that because before this verdict was announced, something nudged me to go and do some research. And I don't know if everybody's aware of the guy Eric Holder that was accused or convicted for the murder of Nipsey. They've pushed his trial back twice, and they are now negotiating a lower bond. My first question was, why do you even have a fucking bond? But then the conspiracy side of me, I know why you have a bond. But why do you have a bond? And then in the statement says you're not a flight risk because you don't have a passport. And you're not a harm or a threat to society because you have family that works within the government. But you was just convicted of killing a man. So you got to make it make sense to me. But again, he's somebody else that has been forgotten about. He hasn't been in the news. Nobody has been protesting for that. So that's what I mean when I say a lot of times the community will forget. Again, after the verdict, it was like everybody took this sigh of relief, but they weren't thinking about the 7-year-old girl that got killed. They weren't thinking about the other little girls that's been sex trafficked and hurt and harmed because it wasn't at the hand of a white person. Which brings me to black on black crime. What are you guys' thoughts on that?
I don't feel like the two are related. I don't feel like bringing up one problem while we're trying to solve another one helps with either one. Yes, it's an issue, but if black on black crime stopped today, that does not make the numbers of cops killing black people go down any. So I don't feel like when we're discussing black on black crime, somebody should come in and be like, well, what about cops killing us? Just like I don't think when we're discussing cops killing us, somebody should be like, well, what about black on black crime? That's two separate problems that need to be solved, yes, but one doesn't affect the other.
But aren't they both killing black people?
Yeah, but they're two separate problems.
But aren't all sisters killings important?
Yeah, they are. But as far as when you're talking about police, like if you witnessing some black on black crime, you're supposed to be able to call the police. But we don't call the police because the police will come up and kill everybody involved. So, like I said, when we're discussing police on black crime, nobody should, as a defense or as a rhetoric, or you know what I'm saying, it should not come up, well, what about black on black crime? I don't think the two are related like that. They're two separate problems. Yes, they're wrong, but one should not be used to justify the other.
No, I'm not using it to justify. I brought it up honestly because, like I said, I'm sorry, before I even go on, Iris, do you have anything to say about it?
About
black on black
crime in itself, or black on black crime?
How can we march for something and still be doing the same thing?
But we're not doing the same thing, because if I go out and commit a crime right now, I'm a citizen committing a crime. If I go out as a police officer and commit a crime, I'm a person who is at a higher standard, who's supposed to know better. That's the same as like having it's not the same, but I'll use an example as of having like a child do a wrong and an adult do a wrong. The adult knows better. They're held to a higher standard than a baby is. We can't, there's only so much, you have to teach a baby for them to learn and blah, blah.
So with that same thing being said, black on black crime and white on black crime, they're both humans and adults though, right?
Yeah.
Because I'm just saying, I'm piggybacking off what you said. I understand the kid, but when you have two adults that are committing the same crime, forget the badge is there, but you have two adults of sound mind. And I say this because when I say my spirit was really disturbed this week, I talked to black men and black women that really, really crushed my soul this week. I talk to people that expect me to wake up every day and be angry at white people. I don't support racism. I don't support wrongful deaths. But I've also never experienced racism. And that's my truth. So I felt some kind of way when people were getting upset with me because I have not experienced racism. The first person that harmed me at 8 years old during molestation was a black man. The second person raped me at 21. The third person took me through domestic violence. They were all black. So my thing is, when I said this to people, their response was, well, they only hurt you because the white people had them stressed, and that shit really, really, really took me back. So we gonna give a pass to grown ass adults that do wrong.
That's a weird answer.
That is stupid.
That they gave. Like,
when I tell y'all that hurt me to my soul, you gonna sit here and tell me that person could have had a mental illness? I'm 8 years old. I don't give a fuck what you had going on. The point was, no adult should hurt another adult knowingly or a child knowingly. And I understand the answer to that. My biggest thing is this, though. Somebody say, oh, well, you sound like you protecting the white race and you not standing with the black. I'm standing with the kids, honestly. And I'm standing back also looking at both sides, acting a plumb damn fool. Because my thing is this. It's the marching for don't judge me, but judging at the same time for me. It's the marching for don't judge me by the color of my skin. But when Becky Sue go outside to check her mail, you don't know her from an apple and an orange. But looking at her, you say, oh, I bet you somewhere down her line she got KKK in her family. So I'm just not going to like her. She ain't gave you no reason, no nothing. If we want better, don't we lead by example at some point? Why is every black person ain't wrong and every white person ain't wrong. I ain't even talking about just cops. I'm talking about people in general.
I think on the tip of leading by example, black people as a whole is tired of that. How much forgiving can we do? How many times can we let shit slide? Like, we done forgave so many people, but the moment that any of us does anything, they're reprimanded forever. Niggas is still talking about Mike Vick. You know what I'm saying? So like the forgiveness thing, that's you know what I'm saying? Like I'm not asking nobody to walk around being mad at white people. I'm not mad at white people. I'm mad at police. I do not like police. I do not like people in positions of power who use that power to abuse it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it don't make no sense that you could be a police officer in 6 months. You could be a police officer quicker than you can a cosmetologist. That means you trusting a man with a badge and a gun quicker than you are somebody to do your hair. That's the problem. That don't make no sense.
In the same way, you got a lot of people that feel like you feel, and I understand that too. Like I said, I understand all sides of people that have dealt with it and feel how they feel. But at the same time, I see a narrative also of people saying, like I said, maybe they won't stop until one of theirs is taken. Well, who gonna take it? Because you got all these, it is what it is. You got a lot of fake ass militias and revolutionaries out there that say, oh, no, fuck the cops. We're going to take the cops' life. Now, when we make a hole for you to go over there and kill them, you're not doing nothing, though. So either you're going to do what you yelling and screaming about, or you're going to organize and find a better way to do it. Because marching and reacting on feelings and emotions, that ain't helping. It's getting a lot of folks killed. Now you have people that thinking because they're rioting and they looting, they think that's a false narrative. They think they rising and they looting causes 3 verdicts. No, it was caught on camera. It wasn't no other way to be done. But the stuff that's not caught on camera is the stuff that don't hit the news. Like I said, when that 7-year-old girl got shot at McDonald's while the cop was there taking the little girl out the car, somebody put the narrative out that the cop shot the 7-year-old girl.
Wasn't it a shootout?
Yes. 30 shots in the car. The little girl got shot 6 times. Her dad got shot once. He lived. But then people further research and saw that her dad was also a gang affiliated person that had a picture on his social media pissing on his rival gang person, pissing on somebody's grave. But because the cop put his hand on the child and took her out the car, a picture was snapped or a post was made, the cops then killed her too. The 16-year-old girl that was waving the knife and got shot before she was actually stabbing the other girl, which is on the camera. It's automatic. I don't know. I just feel like sometimes, not saying that they're wrong, they're right, but sometimes it seems like people are just looking for a reason.
I don't think that people are looking for a reason anymore. I think that they found their reason whenever they found it. Could have been George Floyd, could have been before that, could have been any other person that passed away at the hands of a police officer. And they're tired already. So it's like every little thing. Like, you ever been aggravated and little shit start to get on your fucking nerves and you go off immediately? Why am I going off and shit? I think it's like that.
Also, with the girl with the knife, I understand he had to react immediately because obviously somebody's life is in danger. But I feel like that could be brought up in direct contrast with the lady who accidentally pulled her taser.
Right. Because he could have pulled it.
Who accidentally pulled the gun instead of the taser. Like,
he could have tased her instead.
Not only that, but police are trained to shoot to harm, not to kill. It's like, so why is it as a civilian I'm supposed to have the wherewithal and the control and the training to, if I have my pistol, which I have the legal right to do, if I have my pistol and I shoot somebody that I'm being threatened by, I have to shoot below the waist for it to not be considered attempted murder. I'm supposed to have that type of restraint and whatnot. But these police who are trained to do so can get off and say, oh, I was scared. And that's why they put 3 shots into a 15, 16-year-old girl's chest. That's my issue with it.
Can I say, as far like it was a 13-year-old in Chicago that got killed by the cops. And after further research, this 13-year-old was outside at 2 o'clock in the morning with a grown-up with a pistol ricocheting bullets off of the neighbor's window. When the police saw him and approached him, he turned and threw the gun. He got shot.
What kind of windows is these?
You stupid. But I'm just saying they were mad
Well,
because the police shot him.
I'm mad the police shot him too. If they saw him throw the gun.
No, I said when he went to throw the gun, they just saw his back turn and they shot him. But what I'm saying is this: they shot him. Bad idea. Okay, we need to start disarming doing tasers or something.
Did he die?
Yeah, he died.
That's the issue. Stop shooting to kill.
Now, here's the thing, though. Would it have changed the narrative at all while he was shooting bullets, saying bullets, if he had shot inside somebody's house and killed somebody while they was asleep? Would it have changed the narrative at all?
It wouldn't have made me think that the cop was supposed to shoot him. It would have made me think that he's supposed to be held accountable for the crime that he just committed.
The shift then would have been gun control. That would be the narrative. That would be the narrative the media would paint to us then. It was either going to be us versus the cops, white people versus black people, or gun control. That's what they feed us.
Because I'm starting to think, and like I said, conspiracy theorists, devil advocate, whatever. My thing is this. I'm starting to think people feel like they living in a movie where cops shoot at tires and stuff.
Absolutely. People have been thinking that they're living life like the movies.
You can snatch away from cops and take off running.
You said where cops shoot at tires and stuff.
You can shoot at
that. That's because that's the problem. The cops in movies shoot at tires and stuff. The cops in real life shooting at your chest, and that's not what they're supposed to do.
That's not what I'm saying. What do y'all believe about the comply rule? Because see, that was another thing brought to me. Again, people still trying to make me an angry person. They was like, well, what would you do because you were conspiracy theorist and you be Googling all that stuff? What would you do if they kicked in your door, came in and knocked down your computer, bumped your baby on the way and told you don't do that shit no more? They coming back for you and then they leave. What you gonna do? What the fuck I supposed to do? Go run behind them with a butcher knife? They left. Now, true and behold, I got my evidence. I'm gonna sue the fuck out your ass. But I got my life, and I don't understand why. Like the video I sent you, when the lady was out there doing all that extra shit. Everything ain't. You out here yelling at the cops, and then belittling your own community. Why you yelling at the cops? So why would the cops stick around if these so-called cops don't like you and want to do something to you? You're doing a job for them. Like I'm saying, it's. Everybody ain't got to be so goddamn aggressive, man. When cops pull people over, and the first thing they be like, "Oh, you the police," you start waving your hand and shit. What about the cops that are not out here killing people? What about the cops that is putting that uniform every day? I got cops in my family. So what about those cops that put on their uniform to go do the right thing, but when they pull you over for a traffic stop, they don't know what you own?
To be honest, we need to see more of them cops standing up when the cops are doing the wrong thing. Maybe we'll have more faith in them then, because we don't even feel like we can call them.
But then that goes back to what I said a while ago when this shit first started. When I used to work at Best Buy, if I got my blue shirt on and I go to the bathroom, my coworker slapped the fuck out of you. When I come back outside the bathroom, I don't got nothing to do with that. I was nowhere around when they slapped the fuck out of you.
That's not the case. That's not the case. We talking about police. And like I said, the police that you said good ones or whatever, they need to start stepping up and saying more when you got police like Derek Chauvin. It was 3 other cops that stood there that didn't say nothing. I don't trust no police because none of the police that we're supposed to be able to trust are saying anything about the untrustworthy police. None of them step up in court and say nothing. None of them report nobody or nothing. They have this brotherhood code, so we got ours too. That's the problem. That's the divide. We cannot trust them. If you look at how it's supposed to be set up, police are supposed to work for us. They're public servants. They're here to serve and protect. But we don't even call them niggas because we don't feel safe with them around. They don't protect us. I don't want no police that's scared of me. I don't want no police that's scared of who I call them on. You got the wrong job. You don't need to be nervous with that gun in your hand.
The world is against you. How are you not supposed to be fear for your life? Because you got to put
the world is against you because you're not doing what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to stand up when you see wrongdoing, even if it's on your own police squad. That's wrong. Stand up for it. You ain't did that yet. I promise you, the police that does that, he gonna have all the social backing. We wish you would touch this cop, but we ain't had that yet.
I asked somebody, if the police pull somebody over, and that individual says, "Oh, you the police, fuck you, I'm finna shoot you," and turn to reach. Is that officer supposed to wait for you to turn back around and kill them and take one for the team?
Nah, that's stupid.
But that's what I'm saying. That's a lot of stuff that I'm seeing. I'm seeing after you antagonize the police, you do your dirt, then the cameras come out when the police come back. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying the ones that are innocent and the ones that are really getting senselessly killed, but I'm saying the ones that are jumping on this bandwagon because everybody is on this hate train. Let me go ahead and make them feel like the police doing something to me too. Let's not talk about what I
that's a problem. But you can't act like the police are pulling up with a clean slate.
No.
The police were antagonized before they pulled up. So everybody ain't like that. Some people just realize, like when they get that adrenaline, the fight or flight kick in when they see the police. Some people really do have a fuck you attitude towards the police. They can't help it. It's some people, you know what I'm saying? They might. Yeah, it's people that don't be doing too much. They don't need to go make a scene and all that extra shit that they be doing. But it's some people that real life just don't fuck with the police. It just.
But
and I don't blame them.
People take you complying as a weakness, and that's what I don't understand. Me personally, I say comply because I got somebody to make it home for. I want to make it home. I want to make it back home to my child. I don't want to be a hashtag or get millions of likes because I let y'all see me on live cursing at the police, and in the end, I'm a hashtag. I want to make it back home to my baby.
That's another thing that's a problem. Non-compliance should not equal death. These are police. They're not judges, juries, or executioners. They should not be killing people because they didn't listen. You should not shoot nobody because they didn't listen to your orders. Or if somebody cussing you out, you shouldn't get so in your feelings that you pull your weapon. That's why no one respects the police. You shouldn't have your weapon drawn on me just because I said something you don't agree with, or because I got my camera phone out. It's too much of that going on that we don't see police addressing, which is why we don't care about how they feel, because they have yet to address the people around them doing dirt.
So I also had somebody tell me that because of slavery.
What? I
am so trying to be level-headed. I'm trying to not be judgmental because I don't want nobody to judge me. I don't give a fuck if you judge me, but I'm just saying what was said to me. Because of slavery. This goes back to when I told you that, a black person was the one that hurt me. It goes back to them saying because of slavery, because of the woman and the man being raped by the slave masters. That's why all black men hate black women.
Are you summarizing that, or like?
I am really stating what was said. That's why because of slavery, because of the demasculation of black men from the slave masters who raped the women and raped some of the men. That's why black men hate black women. And I'm like, well, what about the black men that don't hate black women?
Wait a minute, let's unpack this because I didn't know I hated either one of y'all. First of all,
say black men now hate black women, and that's why they go to white women because the white woman is more submissible.
But wait, the sentence don't make sense because what the slave did to y'all and did to me got to do with how I feel about y'all.
I just told my nephew this. My visualization of this was, this is the seed. I got a whole line of seed. I watered this seed, but I ain't watered no more. That mean the last seed fat and wet as fuck, right? Make it make sense.
That's so
what happened in slavery?
Moncala.
I think that whomever you discuss that with, that is not the conversation that you should have with them. That's not their topic.
That person's stupid.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Whoever you had that conversation with, because they might not be stupid, but they said something stupid then.
That topic is not.
They demasculated the black man. They took their power. That's why a lot of black men are gay. Now I'm really repeating. These are not my thoughts.
You can't just connect
400 plus years.
Make them
400 plus.
Be
because of the drugs that the white people put here. That's what caused black men to go and rape and hurt and harm others. This is a repeat. That came from a female. Now, let me tell you what came from a black man. If you are not melanated, you are not of God.
Wait,
Because God only created black people.
All of that you said before came from a woman. Okay.
Y'all don't understand how upset I have been this past week, and that's why I posted this podcast early. That's why I went and did my podcast on Anchor. I am an empath. This shit has weighed on my heart heavily.
The second one you said, white people are the devil.
He basically said, who you stand with, white or black? I said, I stand with God. Oh, that means you stand with the melanated people because only melanated people are of God.
What about albino people?
He said, especially not albino. I said, well, what about mixed people? Well, you as a black female are the only one that can produce a blue-eyed child. I can't make this shit up, y'all. I can't. It's an embarrassment and a disappointment. I cannot make this shit up.
It's like they're taking things that they've read and heard from different places and placing them together in one sentence, but they don't.
You gonna tell me ain't no white folks, like white folks can't even think about loving God. They can't even have no God in them. I said, so you trying to tell me my bonus that I can't love him or like him at all because he's not of God. He's not melanated. And you told me you saw this in the Bible, and I'm asking you for the verse, and you ain't gave me a verse yet. I'm just saying. I don't quote the Bible, but I did 3 years. I read that bitch from beginning to end. I ain't never seen it. I'm just saying. So, I thought I made everybody. Maybe I need to go back to school because I thought man, period.
So white people really
I don't know what they created.
They don't have to give a damn because
I don't know who that. But see that takes me to my.
No, I'm saying by that logic, white people on Earth don't have to give a damn. They can do what the fuck they want to do because they ain't going nowhere. But okay, that's stupid.
That takes me to my next point. Why give them so much power? That's like people say, "Oh, I was gonna do it, but the man trying to hold me down. The white man won't let me get it further in life. The white man. You give them more power than they necessarily have. Because if we all get united together, honestly, we could be more powerful than them.
Okay, systemic oppression, systemic, you know what I'm saying, racism. That's the thing. I'm not gonna act like that don't exist, but it's niggas be OD and niggas be going overboard with that shit. Like
they'll say it for something that's like has nothing to do with anything, like some shit that happened to them in their life. That's the man trying to keep me down.
Bro, why you don't play football no more? Them crackers
don't want to let nobody play no football.
Yeah.
They won't let me. They keep me on the bench.
What about your ankle?
Like
no, it ain't got nothing to do with
it. Ain't got nothing to do with the fracture in my ankle. Them crackers just don't want to let me play. Dumbass. I see it.
I remember this girl telling me it was like 3 days before graduation in high school. And I was like, "Why you ain't coming to graduation practice?" She was like, "Man, these white people tripping. They won't let me graduate."
It be a pop out
like,
there. They be giving these people power when they sleep. I ain't even trying to be funny at school.
You ain't never at school, and when you are there, you got a water bottle full of orange juice and vodka. I really don't know. Again,
I'm not saying that.
No, the fact that you said that to another black person that was at graduation practice. Oh, so they looked at the names. Iris, nah, let her through.
Right. Oh, that one right there. Nah, she'll make we fool. She can't come. But no, that's what I'm saying. Not saying that the world ain't fucked up with racist people. But stop giving power to people that ain't even thinking about the bullshit. Stop putting that crown on folks and giving them that power to go and join the fuck folks. Like, folks is not sitting at home wondering how they can block your goddamn graduation. Motherfuckers is not at the dinner table.
Hey, do you know how evil a motherfucker gotta be to be taking time out their day? You in there making dinner.
The dinner is great.
Trying to think.
Let me tell you.
Oh wait, fuck somebody graduating.
There's this nigga trying to graduate. Ha ha ha. Bitch, she won't come tomorrow.
These niggas out here trying to learn.
We watched that show and it was like them grown ass people. He was like the principal or some shit, just plotting on how to ruin a teenager's.
Oh yeah, you.
Yeah, like and we was both like, why is this
like this grown ass man is looking dead at the student like this motherfucker came back to school.
Like that nigga in Bella eating a banana. I don't like that shit.
I don't like that.
I I don't like this.
I don't
Them
like
niggas
this
trying
shit.
to get an education.
Like,
The fuck?
why is you mad? This motherfucker is trying to better themselves. Nah, I
Another
don't.
thing, have y'all heard about I'm gonna say the world's president because I no longer vote. But have you heard that the nation's president is trying to get an Asian hate crime bill to go right along with the alphabet people bill? And when I say alphabet people, it's not no hate or racism. I just can't remember all y'all goddamn letters. The LBGQT and the rest of them. But they have an anti-hate crime bill. You cannot do you cannot do crime against an Asian. You cannot do crime against the gays. You cannot say they working. I don't know if it's been passed, but you can't say China virus because that is offensive. My question is, why is it that you can still say nigger or porch monkey or
I feel like that's not even a comparison because we talked about this when the virus first came out. They had the Spanish flu. You know, it's in history books. It's okay to say if it originated in China. I don't, unless a person is like saying it tauntingly. I don't understand why.
I don't give a fuck if I'm telling your ass. It's still yours. Take ownership of your shit. It came from you.
Everything else made in China, damn it.
Shit. You want me to buy your products, but you don't want me to talk about your goddamn virus. It's yours. It's yours.
Where the vaccine came from?
Yeah.
China.
I think it's just that it's because of old buddy when he said it. I think he was the first person to say it on TV. Like
China.
He said it all disrespectful.
Then he said,
and everything
China.
he said just ugly. You know.
China.
His mouth.
When you get through, bitch, it's still from China.
China.
But no, the thing is, they're trying to turn it around as though blacks have something against Asians, and we're not even the one that went and shot up the place in Atlanta. It wasn't even a black person that did it.
Okay,
all
but
the
here's the thing though.
Community.
They didn't blast this on the news like that. The dude that did it said it had nothing to do with their race. It just happened to be Asian ladies that worked there. He shot that shit up because he had a sexual problem. Like he was addicted to sex and shit like that. And he thought that was a temptation. So he wanted to shoot that up because he had been going there and getting happy endings. But they didn't put that on the news like that. And my thing is, I'm not no conspiracy theorist, but Mortal Kombat just dropped. Marvel got a movie that's a kung fu base coming out, and there's something else. It's a kung fu. There's about to be a surge of kung fu movies that come out. It's going to be a whole lot of Asian people in movies, and I don't think this is by accident. I think this shit is by design. The timing of it is too fucking perfect. There's like you can see the tweets when old dude was asking whenever Iron Man first came out. Iron Man 2 came out. He was like, "Hey Marvel, you did a good job with that," and somebody else, and he was like, "How about an Asian American actor now?" And then a couple years later, when something else had came out, he was like, "Okay." He retweeted it, and he was like, "Okay, Marvel, well, what about now?" And then he put hashtag Shang-Chi. Then a couple years later, it was in development, but they didn't have an actor. Now you know what I'm saying? Like all this shit is so much. You got to watch the what do you call it? IDMB.
Mm-hmm. I know what you're talking about. IMDb.
Yeah, and see the movies that's coming out, and see who's starring in them and who's producing what, and you're gonna notice a lot more Asian names popping up out of nowhere. So I feel like, again, and also this is coming off the heels of the coronavirus.
Oh yeah, that was, like I said, the research that I be researching on is crazy because the coronavirus came out in an episode of NCSI in 2003. But what about the fact that, like I said, it was an ex-cop, black female, got carjacked. This carjacking turned into a shootout, a car chase and a shootout. The male was shot. Black protesters was kneeling at the governor house, protesting. Found out it was a white man and got up and walked out.
That's just funny.
I'm just saying, that's fucked up though. Like his life didn't matter. Like, oh, when you thought it was a black man, you were ready to get the pitchforks and shit and go at it. But then you saw it was a white guy. You literally threw your weapons and shit down and walked out. Oh, never mind.
There he was supporting a black on black crime.
Who was supporting the black on black crime? He was white.
He was no. I'm saying before he found out that the dude was white, he thought a black woman had killed a black man. Right, the guy that
No,
was protesting.
no, they thought the cops killed an innocent man after the carjacking. Yes, the carjacking turned into a chase, a speed chase, and the cops shot the white man. But they thought the white man that got shot was a black person. And they was up in rage until they found out the person that died was a white man. Not a white cop. Let it be known. It wasn't a white cop that died. The person that everybody angry at. It was a white man. So why did his life not matter?
Well, I can't
It's not
that man.
well, in my eyes, I don't feel like they saying that his life didn't matter. I just don't think you have to try as hard to get justice for this man's life.
Ain't no justice. He carjacked somebody. He was a criminal.
So wait, the dude that jacked the car was white.
Was white.
So wait, why was they protesting in the first place?
Because they thought it was a black man. They thought it was the cops killing an innocent black man.
But
They didn't even do a homework to
He
see.
wasn't innocent. He was carjacking.
But
And
I'm
it was a
saying
shootout.
they were still ready to riot. If it was a black,
though, that's a shootout. That means they were shooting.
and yes,
back
he
and
shot
forth.
at the cops. It's in the news clip.
Information.
Yeah, that was,
He
I feel
shot
like that
at
was
the
a,
cops.
I feel
And
like
that's
that was a lack of information. That was a lack of information
He
situation.
shot at the cops, and the cops shot back, and he ended up dying. But they was rioting because the cops done shot somebody else, and then they found out it was a white man. They're like, oh, never mind.
Did they find out it was a white man, or did they find out it was a carjacking and a shootout?
No, they found that it was a white man. That they didn't give a fuck about the carjacking because while the lady was up there talking to her, she being interviewed. They in the background. Oh, the police done shot another black man. I'm talking about on news. They in the back of her while she's trying to let them know she was scared for her life and this happened, and they stood in the background acting like those that don't have too much sense and was screaming, "Police done shot another innocent black man." But then when you found out it was a white man, it was like, oh, never mind, carry on.
I feel like someone could argue that they found out lots of information because if they were saying they shot an innocent man, they couldn't have had no clue about nothing. They just saw somebody get shot.
Saw a news camera, saw a moment. That's why I said some people, not all of them, but some people just jump on the bandwagon to being angry people.
Well, look, if they need to get some energy out and they feel like they could get it out by being part of a protest and they don't know shit.
I just thought that was the pettiest, shadiest thing in the world. You got there rioting and got there marching like a motherfucker and then do a whole U-turn after you found out as a white person. Oh, false alarm. Never mind. Carry on. Okay, now, my next subject, before I forget. With all the protests and all the, by the way, does anybody realize that Black Lives Matter is ran by a whole white person?
Shit, the NAACP was ran by white people.
You thought I put that out there. But with all the marching and all the rioting and all the protesting going on, when are we going? Is it that we can, as far as our attention span, we can only take on one issue at a time? Because when are we going to talk about these kids being sexualized and trafficked and hurt and harmed and kidnapped? Say what happened to save the children? Huh?
I don't feel like that.
I feel like that's an ongoing conversation.
I don't feel like that ever stops.
If you go look for that, there'll be something recent to read about it. It won't be like
no. It's always something to read about. But I'm saying when I hear people protesting or when I hear people out here, it kind of gets overpowered by the police brutality.
I mean, okay, so that one's louder, but it still has a voice. Like people are still speaking on and marching and doing things for that. It just is not in a place where we can all hear it. But it's happening, and if you look for it, you'll see that it's happening. And if you want to be a part of it, not you specifically, but somebody looking at it wants to be a part of it.
Oh, I definitely stand with them. I mean, because again, a black male that I spoke with said that George Floyd's death had a bigger impact on the world than any other black death in the world.
Of a certain time, and I mean,
he claims that that's the biggest impact And that's why it was so important for people to hear that verdict, because that took the biggest. I'm like, so you just gonna brush Breonna to the side? You just gonna brush everybody else to the side? I mean, because all of them was wrong. All of them had it. And to me, as an empath, all of them touched me and hurt my heart. There was not one that stood out more than the other. But
George Floyd's incident had such the impact that it did is because everybody watched the video. The whole world watched the video. That was the first time the whole world at the same time saw the same thing and was outraged. That's why it had the impact that it did.
They didn't see Ahmaud when he was jogging and got shot?
No. Not like
Not
that.
like live like that.
Not like they saw George Floyd's. It's different when it was just being shared, you know what I'm saying? But you got to think about how long the video was. Like, we watched the whole video of the, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was a slow process. It's agonizing to watch.
I don't know. Like I said, I love being a weird person.
It drew a line in the sand, because right now, if anybody that I know watched that video still feels like Derek Chauvin was in the right in any type of way, we can't be cool at all. And that was polarizing for, like, that was the entire world. Like, right then it drew a line in the sand for everybody, because anybody that was trying to defend the police on that one was like, really, bro?
And take you back to the case. So, did you notice how people reposted the 3 charges but left out some words? Because one of his charges was intentional second-degree murder. But everybody, when they reposted it, just posted second-degree manslaughter. And they didn't post what was actually said in the verdict. He got charged for unintentional second-degree murder, manslaughter, and the other charges, I think, was second or third-degree murder. But there was a big unintentional attached to his charge that people reposted it just, again, in my own personal opinion, easily appeased and just happy to settle for that. Kind of like the way they did Breonna when they downplayed what happened to her. How can you unintentionally murder somebody? Did your knee accidentally slip and put pressure on his neck? No. No. I just think there's a lot of crazy shit going on in the world. I just think people are falling for a lot of shit. Because I think we talked about this before on the podcast too. How just because Kamala and Biden went on national TV and had a substance put into their arm, everybody felt it was okay to do the vaccination. I mean, it could have easily been saline that they injected in their arm, or IV sugar water, whatever. But now that made a lot of people more comfortable in saying, well, since my president got it. And they just put out a new article today, which was funny. They are allowed to refuse administration of the vaccine to white people.
What? For what?
Why would you want to deny white people of the vaccine?
Is that what do you call it? Is that credible source?
Let me go get this.
Because what a thing to say. Mind you,
Washington
when
State
coronavirus first came out, they said black people couldn't get it. Remember that?
Yeah, I remember they said black people couldn't get coronavirus.
Washington State Department of Health allows vaccination sites to deny vaccines to white people to address inequities. Of course, black. Then this is just me going down a rabbit hole. I mean, if you was giving the real one out first, of course you're not gonna let black people get it. Now,
address inequities.
What do they mean, inequities?
Yeah, I feel like I need an explanation of that word.
What was the source? Who posted it?
I'm gonna go tell you right now.
Lack or fairness of justice.
For
them to discuss policies aimed at addressing racial. Lack of awareness. It just means
This was
racist.
hold on, the Gateway Pundit.com. Let me go back over there to the. Because a lot of people don't like the fact that I do fuck with and follow Angela Stanton. I do.
I don't even know who that is.
Where is it? And I am on the
I
site.
like your headband.
Thank you. You know, I'm trying to get some, do some of this stuff so I don't go get no retwist until the 22nd. Gotta do something. Hold on. They got so much stuff on here. Wow. I need to start reading on them anyway. I'm gonna have to send y'all that article because there's a lot on here. But while I'm speaking on it, she put me on to something else too that is really crazy. Did y'all ever hear about the Obamacare kid?
The Obamacare kid.
Yeah. If you have a separate phone or something that you can Google right now, I need you guys to actually Google Obamacare kid. And then click on images.
Oh, he's from the commercial.
Now look at him now.
He is she.
Okay, here's my thing. This where it gets ugly. This where folks ain't gonna like it. There are a lot of pedophiles in the government. First of all, let's forget about how Biden got his nose damn near the nigga head sniffing him when he was a little kid. But how do you make young kids identify with what they are and they have no idea of what to do with what they have? So that's what I mean when I say, is anybody looking out for the kid? The protection from being sexualized and made to think that you are something that you are not. Because that's just like me. I'm sure if I embedded it in her and told her over and over again, you act like a boy. You know, you probably a boy. I think you identify more as a boy. I keep telling you that shit. Ain't you gonna get curious as a child point of view? And then you're gonna start wondering. We are a product of our surroundings. And people, I just feel like people have a more influence than they know they do. And when you start influencing the babies, that's when it just really just hit a nerve for me. Because we're marching out here for the justice of grown people that were wrongly killed and wrongly harmed. But if put against the wall and you disarm the police officer and you ask that grown man or that grown woman to go head to head in a fist fight with that officer, they probably gonna win. A child can't defend themselves. They helpless. I thought about it the other day when somebody else, and they was like, "Oh, I'm so glad. I'd be so glad when I can send my child back to school." I'm thankful I have an independent child, an independent learner, a smart child, and not a small child. But I also think about, and we talked about this in the beginning of the podcast, when I first started doing it with y'all. What about that child that school was their safe haven? You know, them being home and seeing their mom go through abuse, or their mom be a drug user, or their mom neglecting them or abusing them because they frustrated and don't want to really be a parent, and the school was their safe haven. The school was the only place they could go to get a decent meal, be fed, and have a happy space. What about those households, man? Like, true enough, mine ain't going back. We good. But I just think about the ones that all they had was the school. Oh, I hate being so empathetic, honey. My mind and my heart be heavy and I be angry, but I don't be angry about the stuff that everybody else be angry about. I be angry about the ones who can't speak and stand up for themselves. Because again, a lot of people like, oh, you only like that because of what you went through. That's one reason. Because didn't nobody have my back. But at the same time, if I can do something and be a blueprint and have the back of others that can't speak, can't defend themselves, can't take up for themselves, and the same way we marching for the justice of these fucked up ass police, I just want that to get a little bit louder. I want the
You do that.
Oh, I am.
Okay, great.
Yeah, I am. I plan, like I said, the shirts, all that stuff. I've been looking for a nonprofit. Because like I said, not only am I a survivor, but I'm a mother of a child. So I just can't see it. That's why I tell people when I told you the guy gave me the scenario, what you gonna do when they come in your house? I'm gonna live to see tomorrow and be here for my child. I'm not here to incite or antagonize any police officers, anybody. I'm not here to be a martyr for nobody. I'm not trying, I ain't got nothing to get. I love all y'all, but I'm not trying to die for nobody but that little girl back there. And she is the identical twin to me.
Roles.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We all have our roles.
So do you think people should be martyrs? You think people should go out there and die for the country?
Do I think that they should?
Go out there and incite a riot, or like I said, that video I sent you, go out there and antagonize the cop just to end up maybe losing your life.
If that's an example of that, no, that was just insane. That video, I didn't understand that at all. Yeah, I didn't understand that at all.
I hope the world. I pray every day, and I hope the world changes. I hope it does, but I also feel like, again, against all the odds, I'm gonna stay weird. I'll be that weird person because I also think it starts with us first. Because yes, we're mad. The people are mad about, I got some people that say they mad about slavery. I got some people that say they mad about the bad cops. I got some people that say they just don't like white people altogether. But we still being watched. So we gonna raise a generation with a new mindset, or we gonna keep repeating the same generational curse?
I've had the pleasure of being around people whose intention is to break their own generational curses. So it makes me happy to know that there's, it only takes how you throw the rock in the water and
the ripple effect.
So everybody, even if it's just one person that you personally doing it, or you have the pleasure of being around lots of people who are just going through that phase in their life, is all you can do is know that difference is made.
I may be what they say Pisces are dreamers and little hippies and all that stuff there. But I just want everybody to just, goddamn it, hold hands and be united. I really do. I really do want all the violence to stop. I really do want all us to coexist among each other and be okay. Now, is that going to happen today or tomorrow? No, but I will never sit here and say it's never going to happen. I like being around people with sound mind and open-minded enough to be okay with dealing with different races. I don't want to be around people that don't like a certain race and don't like. I can no longer. And if you like, and I'm saying this because I promise you, this podcast was very important to me because it hurts my heart to say this, but it is what it is. I can no longer deal with small-minded ass people that are not open-minded enough to give people a chance before you judge them. I just can't. It's not good energy, because I can't march and say, don't judge me by the color of my skin, but in return, I'm judging somebody by the color of their skin. All white people are not bad. All black people are not bad. That's just the way the world has lumped us all into this damn group. And it's sad. And at some point, it got to stop. And I feel like with me, myself, and my household and my family, we don't do that. We just don't.
I think on this side, amongst man, there will always be conflict. Like, it doesn't have to be this type of conflict and like this type of, where we're at now. It's just so stressful. But we can do better, absolutely. And we should do better. And I hope we are going to do better. I hope people are learning and changing. But as far as like everybody being I think amongst men there will always be conflict.
I mean, I don't trust all white people I come in contact with, but I don't automatically prejudge them either. You gotta do something.
But you don't trust all people when you first come into contact with them, right? Do you save that just for white people?
No, because like I said, the first person that hurt me was black men. So no, I don't trust anybody just walking up on you, but I don't look at you with malice and say, oh, you a black man and I was hurt by a black man, so you automatically ain't shit. No.
I'm so glad that you don't, because
I'm the one that gives everybody the benefit of the doubt. That's why I go through so much bullshit. But at the same time, I don't want nobody to look at me. What I told you before, I said, it's niggas I done ran across in my life that feel like because I'm a big chick, I'm a BBW, that we all got insecurities. Or we all are fall for anything because we so desperate to be in a fucking relationship. That's us. That's still a form of racism. That's still a form of you are setting me out and lumping me up with some most low self-esteem ass bitches, and that ain't me. That don't make me angry with you. It just makes me laugh at your ass. When I said I wanted my big girls to get more confidence because these niggas out here be thinking because we big, we got low self-esteem. And you was like, no, you in Georgia, a lot of confident big girls.
Oh yeah.
But I just want people, if they don't take nothing else from this, don't be so quick to judge. I mean, this podcast tonight means everything to me. Because normally I would come on here, I would bullshit, I would talk the shit. I ain't never been one to just really talk about what's going on in the world because I have my own stuff. I deal with it in my own way. But then I thought about it. I'm always saying, well, I don't want to offend anybody. I hope nobody get their feelings. Man, fuck that, because my feelings been hurt looking at some of the bullshit I done looked at. So therefore, I don't have to agree with shit that I see or the shit that people say to me. I'm not trying to bash nobody side the head and make them believe what I believe. But if you can state what I think is bullshit, I should be able to state what I feel is not bullshit. And if you take something from it, that's good. If you don't, it's cool. I used to be a point in my life where I was conditioned and used to a certain, believed everything that my mom and my grandparents and my daddy told me. And then I tell people at the same time, I'm not telling nobody to change the way they think. But if the way you've been thinking or the way you've been living has been going this certain way, what does it hurt to look at it from a different point of view? You ain't got to stick with that different point of view. But what does it hurt to just look at the other point of view? Because I've looked at everybody else's point of view. And I still ain't falling for the bullshit. But I've looked at everybody's point of view. So it doesn't hurt to just say, well, maybe I shouldn't judge Becky Sue while I just see her outside checking her mail. She ain't did shit to me. Maybe I should give her a chance to see if she gonna be a cracker or she gonna be a decent human being. If she turned out to be a cracker, then go back to your hating ass ways and not like the bitch. I don't know. But just don't see somebody from a distance and automatically be angry, and don't try to make somebody else have a hatred. Because I don't have a hatred in my body. Even the goddamn insect, I don't even hate her ass. I wanted to squash her ass, but I don't even hate her ass. In my 42 years of life, I have beat bitches' ass, but I ain't never killed them. Fight. Shit. As far as the black on black stuff I was talking about, I know it ain't gonna change nothing. But I wish them niggas would go back to fighting too. Just go back and fight. You might not win. It's okay if you don't win the fight. Fight their ass again the next day. Just fight. You won't go to jail with the white people that y'all don't like. You won't get locked up by the white people you don't like. So, but that's all I have for today. I thank you guys for joining me. Hopefully, folks will get something from it. If they do, they do. If they don't, everybody is entitled to their opinion. I wish everybody love and peace. You don't come to my DM. Don't come to my DM with the bullshit because I'm still climaxing. You will get cursed the fuck out. I said what I said, and it's Neverland. I ain't changing it. If that nigga didn't get the death penalty, it wasn't justice. And that's just my thought. And I don't mean shoot him with no saline. I mean the old school electric chair. So where we see his ass actually going into a convulsion, then die.
Let that motherfucker fry.
Take one of theirs, and then they'll understand. Maybe they'll stop. So that's the way everybody want to be. They want to be malicious and shit. Go do it with your revolutionary ass. Until you do it, we don't want to hear that. Before I go though, because remember when the man tried to take the bulldozer into the White House and take out Trump?
Yeah, he got handled.
It was cheering for that white man though. They were asking what his bond was. I'm just saying. So they tried to do something. So let the militias in return. Y'all got the AKs and AR. They ain't took them yet. Y'all gonna do what you do. You gonna kill somebody, go do it. If you're not, shut the fuck up. Put your walking shoes on. So, thank y'all so much for joining me. You want to let the people know anything you got going on before we end this thing?
Hell no. April 30th is up.
Damn. The fuck? I could even drink my drink. Hold the fuck up. Damn. Hell no.
April 30th is up.
Mexicans gonna have on boots.
Mexicans gonna have on boots. Steel toe.
Why I thought your microphone was a mask? So I'm like, hold up, you at home. Now listen. You at home. You do not have to have a mask on. You was in front of the I'm like, wait a minute, sis. You ain't gotta have no mask on your own motherfucker house. Shit now. But no, I ain't even smoke the blunt with y'all ass. Anything y'all want to talk about? Can I hold y'all for a few minutes and talk about what y'all want to talk about? While I fire this blunt up and smoke with y'all.
I don't have nothing I want to talk about.
Talk about something, damn it. I want to smoke the blunt.
Baby, you're the entertainer.
If I talk about what I want to talk about, some people gonna be mad at me because the movie just came out.
Run it.
The movie just came out though.
I don't give a fuck. It ain't they fault they ain't watched it. I probably ain't even watched it. And I ain't mad. Shit. You might save me from watching that motherfucker.
And we watched it again today, so I know for sure. Mortal Kombat it's alright. It's alright. I hate Cole though. That shit pissed me off. That nigga made me mad. The whole movie. How the fuck you the main character of the movie? You get beat the fuck up the entire movie. I'm talking about he got his ass.
Yep. Do he win at the end?
At the end.
Yeah.
And he was the last person to get his powers. Guess what his powers is?
Mm.
He take damage.
Message. That was the whole part of the goddamn movie. Shit.
He can put it out too.
Yeah, he put it out after he get
He
hit so
gotta
many times.
He gotta take it though.
Yeah, you gotta get beat up just to get. Now, if a motherfucker knock him out with the first hit,
beat me, but I gotta slap you around a couple times.
yeah, like no, that's shit made me mad.
I thought the Godzilla movie was good.
What movie?
The Godzilla movie, I got hype on that because I ain't never even been into none of the other ones. But when I watched this one, I literally sat up in the bed and was like, shit, Larry, come look at this shit. Like, Mom, I'm not into it. I was like, but just look at the thing. Look at the thing. Shit.
I don't know. It did. I liked it, but I wanted it to be better.
That joke was fire to me. I said that was my first actual Godzilla and was it not King Kong movie? Because I ain't watched
older Godzilla movies. I didn't see the first movie of that universe, the War of the Monsters.
Yeah, nah, I ain't see that or the Skull Island shit. None of that.
I'm ready to go back though. I'm done fire. I'm ready to go back and catch some other ones. The last one, then the robot too. I was like, oh shit, took his ass, King. Y'all better not kill King. Y'all better not kill him.
Hey, they really jumped that nigga though. They jumped that nigga.
If there's another like King Kong movie though, I want him to like he at home now, right? He
Yeah.
should be stronger. I want him to do some training. I need him to learn some
I
damn.
don't know why. I just feel like
I'm
we were
just
supposed to cheer for King Kong.
I'm just mad because Godzilla was kicking his ass though. I just
Godzilla was beating his ass, bro.
Godzilla fucked
And
him up.
I really, like,
For
now
real short arm
the little punch that they showed in the trailer with when King Kong first stole off on, oh yeah, he got down there. But what they didn't show is Godzilla came right back and slapped the shit out of his ass.
I ain't gonna lie. That shit was starting to look bad. It was scary because I was like, King, now I'm rooting.
It's too early in the movie, bro. Get up. Come on, Craig.
Oh,
Come on, Craig.
Fight
Fight back,
jabs.
nigga. Fight back.
That nigga throw them little strong ass jabs on them strong ass short arms. Come on, Kong. I need you to do better than this shit. Then we actually passed out. Man, my eyes water. I'm like, nigga, that's it? Nigga, you gonna take you gonna lay down, my nigga. You ain't finna the little girl start crying. This bitch, he better not motherfucker die.
Get up.
Nigga, you better not die.
Hey.
Okay. I know. I am here because I ain't mean to knock that one out. But
Such a joyful laugh. Do you hear that? How beautiful. That's a beautiful sound, Climax.
on the podcast. You stay right there. Oh, yeah, that was funny. So, I was like, he can't die. You want to say something to the people? Go ahead. Say hello to the people. You so. Woo! Lord have mercy. You gonna say hello? Yeah.
Excuse me. I'm trying to get this motherfucker.
I'm asking you good? You about a dirty ass something. You know that.
Oh.
You about a dirty ass something. I done said this on Facebook once before. One of these days, I'm going to stop playing with y'all and go and jump out with my husband. Because I actually
Surprise, bitch, I'm married.
been flexing on y'all, man.
Surprise, bitch, I'm married.
But thank y'all so much for joining me. It was a great conversation. If I stepped on some toes, move your big ass toe. Hyphen said by Climax. You remember that shit, Pat?
Not you, bitch.
Move your big ass toe. But in other words, no. Peace, love, and what, Pat?
So.
I love y'all crazy ass.